Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Allen Iverson names multiple Lakers in all-time NBA starting five. For those who were fortunate enough to witness his career as it happened, Allen Iverson is a legend of the highest order. For Los Angeles Lakers fans, he's also the man responsible for the only blemish on an otherwise flawless run to the 2001 NBA championship. In a full-circle moment, Iverson gave credit where it's due to the players he's become rivals with and admirers of over his years as a basketball player and viewer. Iverson famously led the Philadelphia 76ers to an improbable appearance in the 2001 NBA Finals. Matched up against the unstoppable Lakers, he led the 76ers to an iconic Game 1 win with 48 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 5 steals, marking the only loss that Los Angeles endured that entire postseason. In a recent appearance on the Big Podcast with Shaquille O'Neal, Iverson was asked to name his all-time starting five, and included 3 Lakers on his team: Steph, Curry, Kobe, Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron, James, and Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. It's hard to argue against the starting lineup that Iverson constructed, let alone the fact that 3 of the players in it have won championships with the Lakers. For those who weren't lucky enough to watch Iverson play, he helped transform the game and set the stage for the modern era. At a time when Michael Jordan was more of an exception than a rule to what flew as greatness in a center-dominated field, Iverson proved undersized scorers could excel. That makes his selection of Stephen Curry even more interesting to see, as there's a clear case to be made that Iverson helped pave the way for this era of explosive scorers in point guard bodies. Iverson was also an influence for players who are bigger than him, LeBron James included. James once said that the answer is, pound for pound, probably the greatest player who ever played, and called him his second favorite player ever behind Michael Jordan. Jordan, of course, was also included on the list, due in no small part to the fact that Iverson played against him during the Chicago Bulls' second three-peat. Rounding out the list are Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, who led the Lakers to the most recent three-peat in NBA history. That includes the aforementioned 2001 series against Iverson and the 76ers, during which the former MVP received a first-hand look at how great they were. As far as the functionality of Iverson's starting five, it's hard to identify a weakness considering how perfectly the skill sets seem to complement one another. Curry and O'Neal represent the ultimate high-low balance as the best shooter and most physically dominant post player of the modern era, if not all time. Bryant, James, and Jordan were all dominant defenders in their respective primes, as well, with elite offensive skill sets both on and off the ball. Grade the trade, Lakers move on from LeBron James in outrageous proposal. The Los Angeles Lakers are entering the 2024-25 season with an unexpected form of momentum. Anthony Davis and LeBron James recently helped Team USA win an Olympic gold medal and will return to the NBA hoping to win a second championship as teammates in Los Angeles. Due to the thrilling events that transpired at the Paris Olympics, however, many are wondering if there's a better co-star for James to consider playing with, Stephen Curry. Curry and James became teammates on a competitive stage for the first time ever during the 2024 Summer Olympics. They didn't disappoint, with the longtime rivals trading shots and creating offense with and for each other. The future Hall of Famers put a bow on that dazzling display when they led Team USA to a 98-87 win over France in the gold medal game. The inevitable outcome was an influx of calls for Curry and James to become teammates in the NBA. It's a fascinating possibility, but the logistics of these rivals becoming teammates on a more consistent basis are tough to map out. One well-known analyst has attempted to climb that mountain, proposing a trade that would create one of the most fascinating big threes in NBA history. It's admittedly difficult to think of a trade that would enable the top 2 stars of the past 15 years to join forces. neither the Golden State Warriors nor the Los Angeles Lakers would likely want to budge on allowing the face of their franchise to leave when they could instead bring someone in to help them. On a recent episode of First Things First on FS1, analyst Nick Wright proposed a trade that would remove that factor from the equation, as he hypothetically sent both Curry and James to the San Antonio Spurs. The intention here is clear: Greg Popovich gets to coach a Spurs team led by Curry, James, and Victor Wembanyama. It would be a generationally special team, with the top two stars of the previous era joining forces with the up-and-coming future face of the NBA. Led by one of the greatest coaches in NBA history, Curry and James would pursue their fifth career championship, while Popovich would go for number 6 and Wembanyama would attempt to win his first. From the perspective of an NBA fan, the games would be nothing short of must-see with that trio of stars. Even as they enter what could be the final phase of their respective careers, Curry and James are still all-NBA players. Wembanyama, meanwhile, is unlike anyone in NBA history. The question is, does this trade actually make sense for anyone other than Curry, James, Popovich, Wembanyama, and the Spurs? Truthfully, it's a tough sell. Harrison Barnes is a high-quality veteran who can shoot efficiently, and Keldon Johnson could have untapped potential. The Los Angeles Lakers would also do well to receive 2 first-round draft picks for a soon-to-be 40-year-old LeBron James. The issue with this trade, however, is quite simple: the Lakers would effectively be trading James for assets that may not be of any real value moving forward. Lakers legend Michael Cooper shares candid thoughts on LA drafting Bronny James. In an offseason highlighted by the Olympics and the 2024 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers have struggled to avoid criticism. Few decisions have been quite as controversial as the perceived unwillingness to maximize the remaining potential of the Anthony Davis and LeBron James pairing. For as much flack as the Lakers have caught for not signing a new player, no decision created as much of a media frenzy as the selection of Bronny James at the 2024 NBA Draft. James entered the NBA Draft after a statistically underwhelming freshman season with the USC Trojans. He's an intriguing prospect due to his athleticism and willingness to defend, but most jumped to the conclusion that he was a nepotism acquisition due to the fact that his father is LeBron James. In an interview with Brandon "Scoop B" Robinson, Lakers legend Michael Cooper dismissed the idea that the franchise drafting James was a bad decision. When you're that good, people try to find little nicks and knacks about you, but this is not about nepotism at all. It's about drafting a young player that could definitely help the Lakers in the long run, and he happens to have the name James. It's no surprise that one of the greatest on-ball defenders in NBA history would be more open to a player who wants to play defense than others. Cooper, who was selected at number 60 overall in the 1978 NBA Draft, played for the Lakers between 1978 and 1990. He helped Los Angeles win 5 championships, thriving as the primary on-ball defender throughout the Showtime era. In the process, Cooper won the 1987 Defensive Player of the Year award and earned 8 All-Defense honors, including 5 first-team selections. That likely plays a part in Cooper being intrigued by the selection of Bronny James. James, who's still just 19 years of age, has been open about his intention to become a defensive-minded player at the next level. Some of the players whom James has said he's patterning his game after include Drew Holiday, Davion Mitchell, and Derek White. With the intention to prioritize defense, James has set himself down a path that could lead to regular playing time. He'll need to refine his jump shot, but players who are willing to get their hands dirty on defense typically last in the NBA. That's exactly what helped Cooper carve out a 12-year career, during which he played winning basketball by prioritizing defense above all else. The Lakers have invested in James' development into a quality defender with a 4-year contract. He'll thus be given ample opportunity to prove that his medically impacted freshman season was a flash in the pan, and that he's instead every bit the part of the compelling player he appeared to be in high school. If nothing else, James has a legendary supporter as he looks to follow in the footsteps of the great Michael Cooper as a defensive specialist in Los Angeles. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Michael Cooper? Leave your opinion in the comments.